Hey guys, welcome to the coreross channel. Today we're going to be looking at two dev blogs that have been released for Rainbow Six Siege. So let's start with the newest one, which is the data cleanup for operators. So part of this is to improve the performance of the game, to actually help with like memory management, but also hopefully to improve the visuals. So first of all, they go into detail about exactly what it is to map these textures to the operators, and you can see they have a before and after shot of Sledge here, and he looks pretty much the same, but of course it's improving performance. But then looking at Thermite here, there is definitely a big difference in the way he looks, especially around the goggles, and you kind of see they look a lot more like they've got a nice reflection to them. Same with his helmet, it looks a hell of a lot nicer and definitely sharper. Like, look at the texture on that one and then the texture on that one, way better. Whereas we can't really see that with the Sledge one so much. You can see the tartan here definitely looks to have changed, but both of them look just as good as each other. I can't tell if it's a different angle, but definitely the color of his coat here appears to have changed in shape. It looks like it curves around the opposite direction, so it kind of comes down like this now. But he is off to a slightly different angle, so that might be what's doing it. But yeah, big difference in Thermite. I love the texture quality increase out here. That is definitely very nice. This is where most people are going to notice the difference though, is Valkyrie. Certainly not the prettiest looking girl in the game, and definitely doesn't match her official photo for like promotional shots. Whereas afterwards, damn, she looks a hell of a lot better. And you can see they've dramatically changed the actual shape of a lot of her features. So definitely the mouth has had a massive change in shape. Nose definitely looks different as well. And certainly the eyes, the way she's looking, she looks really mean and angry here, and she looks much calmer over here. Now we've kind of seen this with previous off-airs. Like Bandit went through a little bit of a change where he kind of lost his eyes in some way, and they didn't look nearly as good as they did before. So it's going to be interesting to see if there'll be any other operators which they decide to kind of improve along the way. But this is something they've been doing for a long time now. We have seen Twitch got completely redone and looked a lot more dolled up afterwards. Let's move on to the other thing then. So we've got the data cleanup for maps. So this is another bit where they're trying to improve the performance of the game by reducing memory usage. And they talk about how they want to be able to add more things into the space. Like the space is already full, so they're going to kind of clean it up in a way that all this stuff is still there, exactly how it was. The trees are still there, the cup's still there. It's all exactly the same, but it's just using up less resources, which allows them to do more. And that could be for future operators. Maybe future operators that are going to come in will add things that will significantly hamper performance by using up more resources, which is definitely possible. So right here we've got the before and after shots, and this is the first map they're going to be dealing with. And certainly this two at the top here, there's not a huge difference. Like certainly this texture here is way better than it was back here. Like this, yeah, it looks like rubbish. It looks way better here. The white highlighting on the steps looks really nice. And you can see overall this entire shot is quite red. Like even the back wall here is quite red. The table's quite red. There's obviously a lot of bloom in there that's kind of shining that red from everything else around it. Whereas you really lose that in here. The table's now a lot more kind of light brown, I'd say. The seat here is a lot lighter. And you can see the pattern back here has completely gone and kind of gone for a speckled look. Whereas you did have a nice pattern around the actual kind of rectangle, whereas you don't now. It's all speckled. You can see the lights on the trees are way easier to see now, which is nice, and it actually does look like it's properly lit up. And yeah, it definitely looks better. You can even see here reflections of the light in the room, whereas that didn't exist before. So it's using less resources, but actually improving the actual visuals of the game, which is cool. Now, this one is where I see the most differences. Like, look at this. You got these 3D kind of details up here, and I guess they've just gone boom, delete, and they've gone for this much simpler three-dimensional texture instead, and I'm guessing that's going to use less resources. But you can see the reflections. Everything's a lot shinier, like it was all matte down here, and then look at this, all glossy. And we even have a really nice pattern, kind of like what we had up here, but we have that on a place that didn't have it before. Look at the plaque as well, like you could barely see that that was an actual plaque, and then boom, this very nice reflective plaque. So it's cool to see this. Like, we could see maps getting more beautiful and looking better and using less resources, which means a more beautiful game and less like reduction in FPS drops and things like that. And of course it opens up a ability to add more things in. So I'm going to guess there's going to be an operator at some point that's going to add some sort of gadget that shoots out a whole load of stuff everywhere, and they need to be able to have the resources to cover that. And that would be my guess anyway. And then of course, now I'm going to take this all with a grain of salt, but they're going to improve the lighting, and they're not just going to fix the lighting, they're actually going to completely redo it. So, you know, before you're inside looking out, it's all overexposed. Afterwards, it looks like you're actually, you know, looking at it in reality, and actually be able to focus on that without it being completely blown out, which is of course really good. And the same here, you can see it was a very dark for the attackers looking in, and then it's a lot brighter for the attackers looking in now. This is going to be interesting because obviously spawn peeking will be easier with this change, but also as an attacker, you'll be able to see in easier as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all works out. And then we also have changes to the skybox as well. So we can see before, pretty lackluster skybox, and then boom, look at those clouds, very nice. And again, before, kind of plain, afterwards, really, really nice. And yeah, so this will be actually happening on all the maps, but probably not during Operation Health. We might get one or two done during Operation Health, but the rest will kind of come out afterwards. But it will be great to see all these improvements, like the game using less resources but looking more beautiful is really, really good, and there's nothing really bad about this. The only problem is they have told us before that they're going to fix the lighting, and they haven't. You know, and these of course are very specific screenshots. It might be that some areas of the map will look absolutely crap, I don't know. Maybe some skyboxes will look totally terrible, but it's good changes, I think. Now they're going to bring out one more blog, but it's just going to be about texture settings on the PC. So I won't be doing a video on that, but you can go check out in the links below where to find these dev blogs and check them out yourself. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.